Hey Mastodons fans, welcome back to another feature spotlight interview. Today I am joined with Madison King. She is a member of the Purdue Fort Wayne women's cross country and track and field teams. Back on September 21st, Madison was awarded the Horizon League Women's Runner of the Week thanks to her performance at the Spartan Invitational back on September 17th. Her time of 22 minutes and 13 seconds in the women's 6K was good enough for 8th place in a race that finished 236 participants, and it included some very high performance and high profile athletes like Michigan State and Division II powerhouse Grand Valley State. So first of all, congratulations on that. I'll give you a little clap for that.
Thank you.
Other than that, Madison, welcome, and thank you for taking the time to talk to me.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, let's get into it. So my first question has to do with kind of how you got into running.
I did PE and we would do like the mile every like semester or something. And I just liked how like my time would get better, or like I would beat people. I was really competitive at it. I was like, this is really fun. And I would like just feel really good about myself after. And I was like, what is cross country? What's a 5K? What 3.1 miles of running? That sounds awful. And so I tried it and it was super fun. Probably my sophomore, junior year of high school, my coach was like, let's try the 2 mile. So I was like in track and I was like, okay. And I did it. And it was a lot more easier to try and like pace rather than 800. I like the 800, but it's a lot more painful. I feel like I like the longer distances. And ever since then, I just have been just trying to get better. Whether it's just listening to my coach, doing all the training, doing all the extra stuff I need to do. So, yeah.
So heading into the recruiting process, you are a Noblesville, Indiana native, which is in the suburbs of Indianapolis. So you're not super far away, I think less than 2 hours.
Yeah.
How did that process go with the recruiting process? You know, who reached out to you and what ultimately made you decide that Purdue Fort Wayne was the school of choice for you?
So when I was going through the recruiting process, I was pretty nervous and scared because I didn't have an older sibling who was in like athletics. I didn't have my parents didn't do it. So it was kind of just like me learning how to do it on my own. I mean, I had friends who helped me, but it was kind of just all new and it was kind of scary, but it was really fun. But then like the fall of my senior year, Coach Combs was now the coach. And then he DM'd me on Instagram and was like, hey, do you have time for a call? And I was like, okay, sure, why not? So I signed on a call with him and Carissa, and they were so nice and they were super like professional. And they were like, do you want to go on a visit, an overnight visit with all the girls and stuff? I was like, sure. It was on my birthday. So at first I was like, I don't know. I kind of turned them down, but I was like, why not? So I did. I'm really glad that I did because it was a super fun visit. I love the dorms. The dorms are amazing. I loved having my own room.
Mm-hmm.
I liked the campus. The campus is so pretty and the trail system's amazing. It had my major that I wanted, just like a different kind. It was just a different alteration of it, but I don't know. I fell in love with it, and then I committed like maybe a week later.
Yeah, that's awesome. Glad to know that the city of Fort Wayne and like the campus that is on the Purdue Fort Wayne campus played a really big role in your signing here, so to say. So moving on to this season that's going on, not only did you have a top 10 finish at the Spartan Invitational back on September 17th, you've also had a top 10 finish at the Mike Ballmer Classic hosted by Wright State back on September 3rd. And you also had another top 10 finish at the IUPUI Jaguar Invite back on September 10th. So that's 3 top 10 finishes to start the year so far. So ultimately, who or what do you kind of credit the start to your season for? I know a lot of times the mileage that you put in over the summer plays really big dividends heading into cross country season. So did Coach Combs, Coach Carissa kind of have a good game plan for you heading into the summer? Did you end up running with any runners here or in Noblesville, or kind of how have you kind of gotten to this point?
In the summer, I kind of stayed in Fort Wayne and I ran with my boyfriend, Andrew Weidinger, a lot. And he kind of helped me push myself a lot. And I ran with the guys team a lot, which really helped push me. And I mean, Coach Combs, yeah, he helps me a lot when I text him and be like, ask for advice. But like, ultimately, I think I push myself a lot. Just like mentally, I just go out there and I try just to do my best. And yeah, going into this season, it was a lot. I had a big buildup in the summer, and I just knew that I was ready to get good times and race a good race. So, yeah.
Yeah. And, you know, you didn't necessarily have the cross country season, or really anybody had the cross country season that you wanted last year. So how has it kind of felt having a cross country, you know, an actual cross country season like this compared to, you know, your freshman year where you only ran in the Horizon League championships with some track and field events kind of thrown in there?
Oh, yeah. So my freshman year during cross country season, we did like time trials, and those were kind of like, I don't know, I wasn't a big fan of them. They were kind of just like on the same course, the same route every time. But then like we did the cross country meet in like March, right after, like a few days after the indoor cross country, or the indoor conference. And I had just ran the 5K and the 3K. So I went into the 6K, that cross country meet, and I was like, oh my God, I am just gonna do what I can. And that was interesting. But no, this cross country season feels a lot more real, a lot more like I'm in college. I'm running on a team against other teams. I don't know. It just feels a lot better, a lot more normal, especially with COVID happening last year. But no, it's been fun so far.
And so a big part about race preparation not only includes your running with miles and whatnot, it also includes the preparation off the course, off, you know, running and whatnot. A lot of times, you know, your pre-race meal the night before can provide to be a big factor. So I guess my question would be, do you have a go-to pre-race meal the night before a race? I know myself and a lot of others like the carb load with pasta, bread. Is that kind of the same for you, or are you kind of a little bit different?
It kind of just, in high school, I definitely, we would do spaghetti dinners every Friday night. But ever since I got to college, it kind of just depends on what I'm feeling. Definitely try to get like carbs in there and protein. So usually it's like Fazoli's with some people, or it's just like Chipotle. It just depends on what I'm feeling, honestly. I don't have like a staple meal that I have to have, but it just depends.
Yeah, absolutely. So with team chemistry so far, how has that been for you guys this year? I also wanted to add that, you know, you guys seem to have a pretty young core that you have. So a lot of the runners, not only on the women's side, but the men's side, are going to be on the team next year. And even when you head into your senior year, a lot of the athletes from the team that's here today will more than likely be here, you know, heading into your senior year, even if you're in a fifth year. So how's the team chemistry and bonding been so far? And what are you most excited about for the team's future?
I would say the team chemistry is pretty good. We are pretty much like there for each other. During workouts, we cheer each other on. We're very supportive of one another. It's a really young team. So, I mean, coming in last year, really wasn't like an upperclassman who like just showed us around, just knew everything. And we're all just kind of like figuring it out together. So I guess this kind of like brought us together in a way. But yeah, for the future, I know Coach Combs has really good, like big plans for recruiting. So I think that we're gonna have like a bigger, stronger team that's really gonna like be more competitive when it comes to conference. Because we're still like kind of a small team and still developing right now. But no, we're gonna be strong when it comes like in the coming years.
The Horizon League Championships will be on October 30th. And honestly, like I mentioned before, the women's and the men's team are dark horses to compete in, you know, the championships. You guys, I think, will do relatively well because, you know, you have yourself on the men's side, you have Andrew, and, you know, behind you, you have Brooke Neal, Madison Lang. They're, you know, performing really well. So I guess heading into that meet, how are you guys feeling about the championships and, you know, heading into the final parts of the season?
So the first two meets as a team, we could have done better, like just like group wise, just like trying to like pack around, like be as close together as we can. But this past meet at the Spartan Invite, I feel like we were more close together. We kind of finished better. The girls finished way better than we've had, and the guys were pack running like way better than they had. So I think we're getting better, and I feel like when conference does come around, we're going to be a lot more prepared to run together and to score a lot better points. And I think other teams are looking at us like underdogs. But I feel like we have a really good chance to get a good score and get a good position to even podium maybe.
Yeah, absolutely. And, individually as well with how you've ran this year so far, a podium is definitely not out of the question. I've already mentioned you have 3 top 10 finishes to start the season. We can see a 4th, a 5th, however many more races you guys have left, definitely a possibility to see you up there in the top 10. But other than that, that's all the questions that I have for you, Madison. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me, answer these few questions. I hope the rest of the semester and the rest of the season go well and you have a happy and healthy rest of the year.
Thank you so much. It was good getting to talk to you.